Hello students, in this session I will be covering introduction to supply chain networks, forward supply chain, reverse supply chain and sustainability loop. A supply chain network is a group of independent companies forming a strategic alliance with the common goal of designing, manufacturing and delivering right quality products to customer groups faster than the alliance groups and vertically integrated firms. There are two types of supply chains. One is rural supply chain, second one is industrial supply chain. Let us discuss about rural supply chains. The farm to fork food supply chain in emerging markets such as India starts with farmers and ends with consumers buying from retail shops. The supply chain is fragmented and there is no single governing body. The supply chain is not designed but exists as a result of social culture, business practices and regulations. The disadvantages with the rural supply chain is that there are too many intermediaries which increases the cost of the goods, and unorganized business practices leads to wastage and inefficiencies. Rural supply chains are usually supply driven or push supply chains and hence are subjected to high price volatility. Next is industrial supply chain. Unlike rural supply chain, an industrial supply chain is created by forming strategic alliance among a group of independent companies to meet customer requirements. In industrial supply chain, we have two types, that is the local or domestic supply chain, in which all the companies are co-located domestically catering to the local market. Second one, the global supply chain is internationally dispersed but with an integrated management strategy that blurs the national borders and treats all the constituent companies as a part of the single supply chain network. Global supply chain in addition require international trade management expertise to handle cross-border customs regulations and tax regimes. Example, electronics, personal computing, apparel and toys are the verticals that usually have global supply chains. Supply chain starts with suppliers and ends at a consumption point. Suppliers supply raw material, sub-assemblies or spare parts to the manufacturer or service provider to produce a product or a service to the customer. A well-designed supply chain network integrates three different flows: material flow, information flow and fund flow. Here, from the supplier network to the producer of goods and services, we call them upstream, and from the producer to customer, we call them as downstream. There are three sub-networks in a supply chain. They are demand network, supply network and service network. Demand network involves manufacturing, distribution, retailing and associated logistics. Supply subnetwork consists of suppliers, manufacturers, inbound logistics and the providers of the documentation needed for imports, exports and funds transfer. Service subnetwork connects the end consumer with the after sales service centers who are connected with the suppliers and manufacturers for spare parts procurement. This supply chain needs to adopt suitable strategies to optimize time, cost and quality. Story don't end there. After some time, the residual of the product is just added to the nature as a waste. This will create a huge imbalance in the nature and can have adverse impact. To avoid this, we designed a reverse supply chain when it will create channels to accept used products or damaged products back from the customer, and then it is either repaired or recycled or treated with scientific methods to reduce its impact on the society as well as on the environment. This combination of forward and reverse supply chain forms a loop, and it is called a closed loop or a sustainable loop. Any organization which readily accepts both become more responsible and create less harm to the society. We are proud to say our Christ University campus is known as Zero Waste Campus. Why it is so? This is because here whatever waste generated 100% is recycled at a Parivartana unit. Many organizations are looking at forward supply chain and not showing much interest in the reverse supply chain. Role of regulators comes into picture to put things into right direction. Huge penalties are imposed on polluters to control the same. To avoid all these things, it is better to adopt closed loop system and become more responsible company and contribute positively to the society and the environment. This process of thinking about company, society, environment is what we call as sustainable operations, which will lead to sustainability. Now let us look at how to strengthen this closed loop. We have three pillars of sustainability. They are economic sustainability, social sustainability, environmental sustainability. Do order or sequence matter here? Yes, it matters. Economic sustainability is the ability to support a defined level of economic production indefinitely. Economics looks at optimal utilization of resources. Indefinitely talks about longevity of the business. Focus need to be on the people, process and technology. It is a basic survival strategy. Next is the social sustainability. Social sustainability is the ability of a social system such as a country to function at a defined level of social well-being indefinitely. In this discussion, we will understand what triple bottom line circles of sustainability and importance of sustainability in today's context is. Organization can take part in building society like building schools, hospitals, etc. Example for this is Jindal. Last but never least, environmental sustainability. Environmental sustainability, it is the ability to maintain rates of renewable resource harvest, pollution creation and non-renewable resource depletion that can be continued indefinitely. Organization needs to reduce carbon emission, water conservation, afforestation. Here we are focusing on three important words: renewable, non-renewable and pollution. What are renewable resources? Renewable resources are those which can be produced again and again. Example, solar energy. Then what are non-renewable resources? Non-renewable resources are those which deplete over a period and which get exhausted shortly. Then what is pollution? Pollution is the one which is created out of given process which are dangerous to the environment as well as to the habitat. Let us now understand what are sustainable operations and how it is different from conventional operations. Sustainable operations focus on economical, social as well as environmental aspects of the business, whereas conventional operations looks at three important parameters. They are time, cost and quality. I would like to conclude by citing the differences between conventional and sustainable operations. Conventional operations are generally profit oriented. Sustainable operations are based on three P's: people, profit and planet. Conventional operations are short term, whereas sustainable operations are long term. Conventional operations looks at more products and services, while sustainable operations adopt design for environment and design for sustainability. Example for conventional operations are thermal power and fossil fuel technologies. Example for sustainable operations are hybrid cars, wind or solar power, green technologies, etc. Thank you.